Hello, everyone on the internet. So, I thank you for tuning in because it sounds like you might be curious about some things in nature that I had always been curious about since as far back as I can remember. So, this is the easiest explanation that I can make. I've made videos about the dielectric universe. This is essentially a spring that is wrapped around onto itself. So you can see that as it spins, it corkscrews, propagates through space. So dielectric field, kind of like this. So essentially, this vortex motion is at the center of all physics, and what makes it really complicated is turbulent flow. But I'm going to break that down for you as simply as I can, since all life that we associate with essentially as life is either going to be crystalline, plant, or animal. I'm going to talk about the simplest one, which is plants. So, when you look at a plant, the geometry is pretty obvious as far as the petals are concerned. There's usually 3, 5, 10, or they come basically layered, where you'll get like a pentagram spiral that creates a layer to create the flower. But when you're looking at the stem, let's think about space itself not as being empty, but being as very, 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 very dense, like water. So turbulent flow in water is that spiraling action that you see in Vincent van Gogh's famous painting Starry Night. So if you're thinking about a plant, kind of think of that. So imagine you have coming out of the ground an electromagnetic field force that's moving upwards. Now, as I just said, it's going to be moving in a spiral motion. Right? And there's also going to be another thing that's going to be happening, is that the amplitude and frequency are going to be different from the ground to the very top. So as you get higher up into the tree or plant or whatever it is, the frequency is going to change because of the density of the stem itself, as well as the height from the ground. So you're getting different, just like in your body, different frequencies that exist within the same structure. So if you think, okay, you've got this, and then it's going to be getting from bigger to smaller, or larger to finer, is another way of putting it. Then think about, okay, well, if it's moving like this, if it was a boat with a propeller spinning, well, what do boats do? They create wake. So if I just start drawing in, right? Because this is kind of what a boat does. As it moves through water, it pushes it out of the way, and then it comes back into the boat, and it forms a current, right? Which is the wake of the boat. So if I keep following this pattern, starts to look a lot like, I don't know, leaf of a fern maybe. And so from these projections, right, on the leaves at the center, there are also little offshoots from there, which is just looking at something that is a fractal. It just keeps repeating harmonically. Now, obviously, it's not perfect harmony because of, well, all the variables that are in nature and the quantum field itself, which is infinite and intangible. So anything can arise out of it, which is kind of crazy. But the idea is, in nature, these simple patterns of just following a harmony or a course of energy from where it started perceivably to where it's ending perceivably, because obviously even every single leaf creates a electromagnetic field that expands out, and to the degree that you have sensitive instruments, you can actually detect it. So when we look at nature, it's fascinating to see all of the clues that give us insight into our own biology as well as our own internal information, internal formations, information. It gives us a lot of information when we study nature. So I'm glad that you're curious about this as much as I have been curious about this for my entire life. And thanks for watching. You have yourself a great day. Feel free to like and subscribe if you thought this was kind of an interesting video. That's a little bit off topic. I know, it's strange, some of the things I talk about.